We are now at Indiana Dunes National Park Visitor Center. I'm going to go in and get little bits here, their Junior Ranger books, and look around and see what all is here. We're down at the Portage Riverfront area, Riverwalk joint venture project, where they've created a beach area and a fishing pier area, and much clearer right now. If you look straight across over here, you can see the downtown Chicago skyline, and Sears Tower, Hancock Tower, whatever they're calling it today. I don't know. It'll always be the Sears Tower for me, but it's over there. You can see it. It was the tallest building in the world up until a handful of years ago or so. From around here, see what all there is to see before we head over to a history hike over at the farm area.
And then I'm Ranger Emma. This is also my 3rd season. Leah and I graduated high school together. I go to the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, but we are both from here. And then we just want to give you guys a heads up. Usually Ranger Bill does this hike, but he just got sick, so we're going to be taking over for him today. So if we're a little rusty, take it easy on us.
We have 2 rangers for the price of 1.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So we are over here looking at the 2-story cabin. So this was built as a little companion house to the one over here. That one was converted into a chapel, so later this turned into a storage unit for tools and such like that. So it's not crazy important, but we still stop at it. And we do have the keys for all of these, so I thought it would be fun if we just peer inside. This was remodeled a little bit. The park did a lot of the 70s, the park did a lot of remodeling in the 70s once it was taken over, because the Bailey family lasted about 3 generations here before they passed away and the National Park Service took over. And we also we have a shared thing with the Indiana landmarks too.
Squirrels really like it too.
It smells like Cade's Cove.
Yeah.
Who knows what this is? That's a gunpowder.
A horn for gunpowder.
Nice. Okay, good job. Because I didn't know what this was the first time I saw it. I'm like, yeah. So these are all super cool.
Antlers?
Yeah. For the horns. Let's see what we have here. Okay, everybody back up. Oh. yeah. Is that cool?
Joseph Bailey has never lived here. He died before it was finished, but the house, it's not opened anymore. It used to be. So I remember like when I was a kid, we used to do Halloween hikes, candlelight. It was connected, the porch was connected to a door up to the studio. But then eventually it, I believe they built all of the homestead on the floodplain by the river, so it was kind of not very unstable. Yeah, it was very unstable, so they had to pick up the whole house and shift it over there. Bailey Cemetery. Anybody notice anything weird about one of the the end? Do we have any guesses as to why the end is backwards? I guarantee it's not as exciting as you think. They just messed up. Oh my gosh. Yep. So the architect that, because this was built, the original, which Emma's got the original picture of what the cemetery used to look like. Because this doesn't really look, like a cemetery too much. Oh, wow. It's just like a big building. So the original cemetery used to be the traditional, tombstones with a big fence around it.
And the 7 stations of the cross, if you're Catholic, is inside too.
The Baileys were, some would say, a little bit stingy, a little bit, like their private life. So when people in the surrounding areas, would pass away, they would bury their loved ones within the Bailey Cemetery. And then there was a lot of problems with grave diggers digging up the Baileys' graves, because the Baileys were, had a little bit of money. So they decided to tell everyone, write them a letter and said, hey, if you've got loved ones in our cemetery, dig them up and take them out, because they wanted it just to be the Baileys, which didn't go over very well. People didn't really like that. And then eventually the Baileys, then it would have been probably Rose, I believe, who would have done it. She would have been the last, one of the last. They filled it in with cement and sand. And then that's what we have now. So if we were looking, if the original cemetery, the Baileys would be, if we were on top, they'd be even 6 feet under that.
Alright, so this is where I'm going to step into the video and do something that I normally don't do, which is provide criticism instead of showing the positive side of things. What you just saw in the cemetery that we're in is just a little glimpse of what you're about to see. So walk along here, you'll see that the National Park Service has dropped the ball. I'm extremely disappointed in the Park Service and in Indiana Dunes National Park. You see this grass overgrowth, and here in a minute you'll see a ranger even having to point into tall grass to show a gravestone. This isn't a hidden cemetery. This is on a ranger-led history hike that they do a time or 2 per week. This is the final resting place. Should be a place of dignity for the Bailey family. So I hope and encourage the National Park Service and the Indiana Dunes National Park to get this taken care of, so this is not the type of experience that visitors to the park have in the future.
You can come up this way, and as I was mentioning, so this is pretty overgrown right now, but if you see there's a headstone here. Oh, there's one there too. So this is still part of the official cemetery, but these are people outside of the Bailey family. From my knowledge, it's still important to be this close to the Baileys, because they were very particular, and if you weren't Catholic, getting thrown out. Then over here we have Robert, who was Joseph and Marie's son, who passed away in childhood. And then the other Baileys are all along the front over here. Yep. So that just kind of shows you surrounding the main cross, the way that this is set up. And then I think we have this one too, so you can look up and see who all is buried here.
So this we're standing on now, this is about the original Bailey Homestead Cemetery, but it was 2 acres, and this doesn't really look like 2 acres, right? It's kind of small, like definitely. I can't remember the exact dimensions of a acre, but this is a lot smaller. I think we could all agree. So we understand now, which Ranger Bill, who usually does the hike, he has made it his like career goal before he retires to mark the 4 corners of the original cemetery. So it's believed that all throughout the woods there's unmarked graves.
This is just kind of the family room, but originally when this was first built in 1885, this was 4 bedrooms. So when the Shelbergs moved here, like the Baileys, they wanted to help people who were moving into the area. So the Shelberg family had this split up into 4 bedrooms with their children, and then the upstairs, which we'll see later, they used to house other immigrants who were coming in, so they were able to get on their feet. And then later on, the next generation of Shelbergs who had the house, they had their kids live up there. Imagine this split into 4 tiny rooms, and then we can move this way, you might as well. This is a more formal sitting room that they would use on Sundays, or if someone in the family or friends passed away.
But it also brought in a pitcher pump, which was really new modern, especially out in the country. So that's connected to a cistern underneath the sink there, the gutters feed into that. So that water's not always fresh. In the springtime, you have snow melt and everything, got nice, fresh, clean water. In the fall, when the leaves blow in it, you might have brown water, or purple water, or whatever color the leaves are. So then it's good for washing clothes or dishes for people on Saturday night. The fresh water for drinking and cooking would have come from the well, with the windmill pumping that. And that was a real nice place in the summer as well for keeping things cool, because that water comes up, it's a nice chilly temperature. And so you put a tank out there with some crocks, and you can put your butter, you can put your apple cider in there, you can put a watermelon in there. We've done that a few times. And it chills everything nice that way, the water. The stove here is an 1897 Glenwood. It is not the original to this house. We had a larger one with another set of burners on it. But the stove is still hot, so I'm not going to be touching it. But the grate is about right here, so that's where you make your fire, and then the firebox is right here. And so the whole top, the whole thing gets hot. Over across the top here, there's about a 4-inch space to the top of the oven. And so when you're baking things, it's not real big, so you gotta think ahead. But most of your heat then is coming from the side and a little bit from the top. And so unlike today where everything's coming from the bottom, this time it's coming from the side, so you gotta make sure you rotate things. And then you're also gonna get the top done before the bottom of the cookies are done. So then you can either flip them over, or you can take the pan, which I did, and just set it right on top of the stove, and then you can finish baking them from the bottom side. So the way they got things done. This, of course, is the hot side. There's no knobs needed because you got the hot, medium, and low, so you just move your pots back and forth where you want to go. So you get it to a boil and shove it on down. So in the summertime, that happens pretty quick. By noon, that's the biggest meal of the day, and you're ready to bake those coals and let it be done. But it's also a good time to throw in a cobbler or bread pudding, something that's a lower heat that bakes longer. You can put in the oven, and you've got something fresh for supper, along with usually garden vegetables and maybe cottage cheese, things like that in the summer. In the wintertime, you just keep it going, because hot soup is good in the evening too, and it keeps the whole place warm. The pantry goes all the way across. At one time, when the family had the 3 generations here, Mom and Dad took that one, the kids went upstairs, and they divided the pantry in half so Grandma could sleep there. That way she didn't have to negotiate any stairs. It was nice and warm in the wintertime. And so that was her part. But that's all opened up now all the way across.
Super easy. All you're gonna do, go crazy. Who wants to try?
Guys, we're finishing up our day here at Indiana Dunes National Park in northern Indiana. And I'm a junior ranger now too. This time was everybody. So we did a family thing, and I even did the whole swearing in thing. Got the badge because we need stinking badges.
He was cowardly though, and
So
didn't
now,
want to report him.
we're starving. We're gonna find some food, work our way back to camp, and tomorrow probably a beach day.